Okay. Today is our last day of working on the tunnel before we have to do the two-way split and then some turn path upgrades. Yep. Finally, our last day. So, what do you want to do then? You want to go ahead and finish the tunnel just today and then do turn path upgrades and some of the two-way split another day? Or you want to go ahead and finish the tunnel and do everything else on the same day? Or would you like to do the tunnel today, the next day, connect the two tunnels and do turn path upgrades, and do the two-way split path? On separate days, you meant? Yes. Okay, here's how we're gonna do it. So, my plan is to finish the tunnel today. We're not gonna be connecting the two tunnels today, but the next day we'll do that. And then we're gonna do turn path upgrades. And then the next day after that, we'll start the two-way split. And then turn path upgrades afterwards. And then do the tunnel. And then turn path upgrades, obviously. So that's how we're going to plan it out. Alright. We got a plan. Or actually, do we want to connect our paths today? Or do we want to do that another day? If you want, we can do it today. Or something like that. You know what? We'll do the tunnel and then connect our two paths today. And then the next day, turn path upgrades. And then the next day after that, we'll start our two-way split. Along with turn path upgrades with that. Okay, so you're finishing up the tunnel and then connecting your guys' sections. Okay, cool. Yep. So then today will be 25 minutes of work, and then the next day will be 15. Does that sound like a plan? Yes, we'll do that because the next day we're only doing turn path upgrades and that's it. Alright, cool. I'll set that up. Alright, there we go. Now we have our plans for the next 2 days of upgrading. So finishing the tunnel today and connecting these segments. And then just doing turn path upgrades the next day. Yeah, that's our plans. Okay, so let's get started with the finishing process. Let's go. Okay, off I go. Oh, I can't believe it. It is the last day. That is awesome. Yep. And after all this work, then I guess we're done with the upgrading. Yeah. So I don't know if that is all of the upgrading we have to do. Okay. So now that we're doing all this work, so completing the tunnel is 1 day, so 1. And then turn path upgrades will be another 1. And then doing the two-way split will be 2 days of work, so 4 days, and then turn path upgrades with that, so 5. And then making the tunnel will be a 3-day work, so 8. And then turn path upgrades, it'll be a 2-day work, so that's 10. No, because we're doing another two-way split, so that will be a 2-day work also, because we're trying to include the second day with turn path upgrades. So add another 2 onto there. Okay. So 12 days then. Okay. So okay. So those are the final days of upgrading. Yep. Just 12 more days. All right. We just got done. Okay. So here's what's going to be for our next days of upgrading. So you guys completed the tunnel, right? Yep. Okay. So then The next day, you're doing 1 full day of turn path upgrades, so 1. And then we're doing a 2-way split, which is going to be a 3-day work because turn path upgrades, so 4, and then this whole tunnel right here, that's going to be a 3-day work, so 7, and then turn path upgrades will be a 2-day work, so 9, and then another 2-way split, which is going to cause some turn path upgrades on the second day. So there's 11 days left of upgrading. That is awesome.